At home in the Derbyshire Peak District, Wendy Watson's family album tells the story.
That's me. That's my cousin Jennifer, who's had breast cancer twice. My sister, who's been lucky enough not to carry the gene. Auntie Lillian, she's just recently died from breast cancer. And her sister, who had breast cancer. Now that's Jennifer's daughter. She has got the gene. Whether she'll have the operation or not, I don't know, but she's only 23. And another cousin, again, fourth cousin, but with the same gene. That's Vanessa.
It just suddenly came to me. Well, you know, I'm waiting to get cancer to have a mastectomy and hope it's early enough. Why on earth don't I have the mastectomy before I get it? Thus preventing the problem. Here you are then, madam. Thank you. Right.
Wendy had her operation when she was 38, a full 2 years before BRCA1 was identified. She's since had a test which has confirmed she has the gene. Now she has to worry for her 15-year-old daughter, Becky.
I hoped that it was negative. Everybody said, "Oh, I expect you'll really hope that you've got the bad gene, you know, so that it validates the operation." And I said, "You must be joking. I hope I've got the negative, you know, that I'm okay for Becky's sake."
I think there's no doubt but to have what my mum had done. I mean, I've seen the reconstruction and I've seen how well that can be done. And as I say, I have the same feelings as my mum did, as, you know, I'd rather have no breast at all and live than die.
Wendy's angry that she easily got her operation on the NHS, while Andrea, who lives just 40 miles away, has had such difficulty. The government has some explaining to do. She and her leading man are off to see the minister.
Most people don't have as large a family as me to be able to determine whether or not their breast cancer is hereditary. And many people don't live in the same part of the country as I do. And I get continually phoned, many phone calls a week from worried women wanting to know what to do.
Wendy is far more able to achieve more than a few doctors who are irate about the fact that they're not getting what they want.
Are you irate?
I would say I'm simmering, in the sense that at the present time there's every possibility that a service that we've taken 7 or 8 years to bring up to a standard which we feel is probably the best in the country is under real threat.
You'll be broken, I'll have money. Will I help you? Don't be funny. Just you wait. Just you wait.
We have to fund these new essential things, and we also have to have some sort of national network for the more important questions, such as how can we get effective screening for women under the age of 50? If we can't get those sort of things in place, then we might as well forget it. The NHS will go backwards, and it will not be the envy of the world. It will be one of the worst health services in the world.
Just you wait, Henry Higgins, till you're sick. And you scream, and you doctor, double quick. I'll be off a second later, and you're straight to the theatre. Ho-ho-ho, Henry Higgins, just you wait.
It is a whole new area that we're entering now, genetic research, and she has some very interesting things to tell me.
She feels quite strongly that the health service should be doing more to help women like her. What response could you give her?
Well, I think she's right, and of course this is one of the pressures that we have in the National Health Service. This cancer gene was only finally identified in 1994, so it was only 2 years ago. So it now brings in train a whole set of implications in terms of not only genetics per se, but also in service delivery.
I think the Minister was very sympathetic to our views, and I think she took them on board. But I think she is restricted by what is the current policy, which is to devolve everything down to the lowest level.
In the end, Andrea did get NHS approval for her operation. but she had to go to Manchester. At Christie Hospital, the operation's just hours away. Time for some last-minute tips for the patient.
You have to insist that you get about 3 different sizes then if you're going to just have prostheses.
Really?
Yeah,
Will they do that?
These are my favourites. I'll get my favourites today.
You've got favourites?
Yeah. Well, yes, I mean, I think it depends how much weight you're carrying at the time as to which pair you want to wear.
Right. So you have pairs that make you look slimmer?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
No, if you want the sporty look, don't wear any.
It's 6 months since Andrea Stevens' operation. This has been her first Christmas free from the fear of cancer.
Here?
Yeah.
Right up top, right up here.
Now she can start planning for the future.
What's that one?
This one's a pretty one.
A pretty one. Oh, yeah, it is a pretty one. Let's find the end.
She's convinced she's done the right thing, but she will have a gene test when it's available.
The best thing that could happen now is that I found out I don't have the gene, and then my children don't have to worry, and that would be fantastic because, you know, I've got a daughter. So obviously I still need to know. So as soon as there's a test, I'll have it.
Even though it might show you that you've gone through major surgery for nothing?
Well, it wouldn't be for nothing, because the peace of mind has been fantastic. And, you know, if we're 5 years away from a test that tells me that I've got it, 5 years peace of mind, it was all well worth it. Even the last few months, it was all well worth it.
A year ago, she was a girl getting on with her family life, but with a living under a shadow. And now she's there, she's full of life, she's lost weight, she looks marvellous. She's just living proof that what she did was absolutely right for her. Absolutely right.
Is that your favourite one?
Yes.
You like that one, don't you?
This one's a little
I like these ones, look. The teddy bears.
To put a bow
Oh,
there.
you put the bell on there.
As for losing her breasts, Andrea has no regrets.
Ultimately, they were something that could have killed me, and so I wouldn't, you know, I wasn't, you know, particularly happy about having them in the first place. So it wasn't the same sort of loss as it would be to a woman who, you know, liked them and, you know, enjoyed them. I didn't really have those kind of feelings about them in the first place.
No, not been a problem at all. No, I was just more pleased that she's here. Also, you saw how short-sighted I was. I can't really see anyway. So, no, it's not a problem.
For Wendy Watson, the campaign goes on. She's been invited by the Department of Health to apply for a substantial grant to set up and run a national helpline for women worried about hereditary breast cancer. Ministers will consider her bid next month.
Every woman has a right to be able to make an informed decision of what she should do. And the decision is hers. Nobody else's, not mine, not the GPs and not the surgeons. Once she has all the information to hand, then it is her right. I'm now a much more outgoing person. I really enjoy life, and I do enjoy life because I think I've probably got a better value of life than a lot of people. It's all about contrast, isn't it? You know, you can't appreciate life until you've been faced with, a sort of cut-off point, and when you think you've overstepped that cut-off point, it's so liberating. It's not true, and I have a zest for life that a lot of people envy.
I think she's enormously courageous. And I think it is personal testimony. People like Wendy, who, when they explain what the choices were for them and how they reached those choices, that has a profound impact on other women. And I do congratulate her. I think she will move this whole area forward in a way that perhaps professionals can't.
There's not many people that could say the sort of things about their mum as what I can. There's not many people that can say, oh, my mum's done this, you know, my mum's released a record, my mum's got her own theatre company, and she's still going, you know, she's not at all self-conscious about herself, her own body, and I'm just very proud of what she's done and what she's achieved.
Eliza! Where the devil are my slippers?